that Harry Kane was the greater need. You'd have thought that would be the obvious one to get over the line first. Whether Jack coming in all of a sudden, that adds to Harry Kane's mindset that he can then again try to force something. I just don't see him being the type of individual to go down that road, Aid, and really, as I mentioned earlier, be that divisive character in a dressing room that has to isolate yourself, etc. It's not a comfortable scenario. I just don't see Harry wanting to do that, and I don't see him actually being able to do that. But I would suggest if City are if this is true, if they do want to spend £250 million on these two boys, then Harry Kane is the one that they absolutely need to go for first. But it doesn't look like it's going to go that way.
Let's speak to Sean, who's a Villa fan. What do you want to say, Sean? You're on talkSPORT.
How you doing, lads? You all right?
Hello, Sean.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, I think, Grealish, in all opinions, a bit of a tough pill to swallow, but, he's done everything he can for the club. He's brought us up from the Championship, kept us in the Premier League, and now hopefully he's going to fill our pockets with plenty of money to spend on a bit of quality. Probably won't fill his boots, but it will help us build a bit of depth in the squad to try and keep us in the Premier League. And personally, I'll be buying my ticket for the Man City game next season to watch him there and clap him onto the pitch, because any true Villa fan just wants to see what he can do now on the global stage that he probably deserves.
That's a good point, actually. That's right. I think as much as Villa fans, if this is to happen, I think Sean's right. As much as they'd be disappointed to see their main man go, there would be genuine pride in watching him go on and becoming the player that everyone feels he can at a top team. I think
player they made from their manner.
This was our boy. This is and again, this is someone that, who knows, down the line he might even come back to Villa Park towards the end of Jack Grealish's time.
But then you look at the Villa progression, okay, under Dean Smith, because that's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Came in November, they get promoted, they stay up, then they get even better. Where's that progression going to end? Because when there's a big job, when Spurs comes up, the Spurs manager's job, nobody talks about Dean Smith, and I think that's a bit unfair on him. But it looks like he's made for Villa for so many reasons. Yeah. So it looks like he's going to be staying for a while. So where does that progression end? And could Jack Grealish be energised and enthused and excited about the prospect of actually doing something in the modern game that's akin to what happened in the early 80s at Villa, where they won the title in 81, the European Cup in 82. Not saying they're going to do that, but something that's the kind of equivalent of that.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
it's a good point. And he's look, and again, when you want to get Buendia, when you want to get Leon Bailey, those guys want to turn up and come and play with Jack Grealish. Yeah, but they will have done their own work.
But do signing those players match Jack's ambition as well? I think that we haven't flipped this around really, have we? So he's seen those players come in. Is Jack thinking to himself, "Oh God, Man City's really tempting, of course, but hang on a minute, something big is building here." Could that? Am I being totally naive? This situation.
No, listen, for Jack Grealish, I don't think it's anything other than just the fact that he's going to work with arguably the best coach we've ever seen, I think, on these shores. And he's gonna play for a team that will win trophies. He will become a winner in that dressing room, and it will elevate his game. It will make him a better player, I believe. I still think Jack can stay on his feet more. I know that people say, "Oh, he's the most foul player." Well, he buys a lot of those fouls. I think in a City shirt, he'll have to stay on his feet a bit more. He can do that. He's robust enough. He's big, strong enough to resist all those challenges. In a Villa shirt, sometimes it's good to take a free kick, hit the floor, and buy yourself a bit of time, breathe in space, etc., to get up the field. In City shirt, he's got to get in the box. He's got to make things happen. He's got to assist, and he's got to get his numbers, score his goals.
We were talking about Gundogan earlier, getting into double figures last season. I think we'd all agree, if we had a conversation, we'd all agree, yeah, Jack Grealish is better than Gundogan. I mean, there might be some dissenters in that, but generally, I think we'd all say Grealish is better. What did he get, 6 last season? And all right, that's for Villa. At City, you're right. He has to more than double that.
And he will do. I genuinely feel in that team, he will do that. I think Manchester City, if they do get Jack Grealish, are getting a sensational prospect. I really do, and one that will go on, I believe, to fulfil his ambitions.
So there's a Villa fan there who's excited about where Jack might take his career if he does leave and go to Manchester City. I've got a couple of tweets from Villa fans saying they can't bear to listen to talkSPORT anymore because we're saying Jack's going. I don't know, he's still a Villa player. I don't know if he's going or not, but the reality is it could well happen. You know, it's a move from Villa to Manchester City is definitely a step upwards. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. I think
if it wasn't going to happen, by now there would have been something probably from Dean Smith, something from even the player himself, something from somewhere to suggest, look, that one isn't going to happen, and nothing has sort of quelled the speculation at all over the last week. Nothing has dented that in any way, shape, or form.
Let's speak to Vernon, a Villa fan. What do you think, Vern?
I think this is a long way to run. This, I don't see Jack as being gone to Man City just yet. We had this last summer with Manchester United. He was going. I mean, some of the coverage, to be fair, gents, not from your show, but some of the coverage on your Sky Sports is embarrassing. You know, as though Jack has already gone. There's a long way to go. You've got two very, very ambitious, very wealthy owners, and they will pay whatever they need to keep Jack. Jack is the project. If he goes, I wish him well. You know, we love him at Aston Villa. He's one of our own. He'll be welcome back to Villa Park as a legend. But just listen to me now. This is not done, and Jack is not gone, and I don't believe he will end up at Man City. I believe he will lead Aston Villa next year, or this coming season. It's a long, long way to go. Completely out of the blue last year, he signed a 5-year deal, and these guys have got big, big money. Okay, Man City's different. It's owned by a country. You know, these guys are as wealthy as individuals as you can possibly get. But whatever, if Jack goes, he goes with their blessing. To see our boy on the world stage will be fantastic. But I just feel he's going to be a Villa player for a few more years yet.
Vernon, you might be right. You might well be right. Look, nothing's done till it's done, and that may well prove to be the case. I just have the feeling that I don't think City will be denied on both of these deals. I don't think City will miss out on both of them. I think one of them will definitely happen. And it wouldn't surprise me if the pair of them happen, but I do think one of them will happen.
I think Jack will be conscious of what's happening to Harry Kane now, and what Jack is next month. He's 26. So, yeah, it could be that I've been saying since the start of the show, if, rather than when, Jack Grealish goes, he's still an Aston Villa player. And I said before, how exciting if he plays with Bailey and Buendia. That could be behind Watkins, could be absolutely fantastic, could be irresistible to watch, fantastic. But at some point, unless Villa really catapult themselves into the top four, and let's bear in mind, he's massive about playing for England, Jack Grealish. He's been very clear and open about that. And at the moment, he really isn't putting himself into Gareth Southgate's face enough for Gareth to ignore him. You know, he's quite happy leaving him out. He's quite happy bringing him off the bench late in games. Jack needs to be at a club where he cannot be ignored. I
bet that was an interesting conversation, because players talk about all this stuff, all the stuff we're talking about now with everyone listening. That when the England boys are having a cup of tea in the afternoons after they finish training, there's no doubt that Jack Grealish and Harry Kane would have been having a chat about what might happen. And there's no doubt
Jack would have been talking to Sterling and Walker and Stones.
Look, they'll have all been talking and bigging it up and having a bit of a laugh about it. But also, there would have also been some serious stuff spoken. And I'm sure Harry Kane must have even said, you know, where Villa are now, right, was where Spurs were perhaps when Poch first came and started to build his team. And all of a sudden, everything's going to happen, and then all of a sudden, nothing happens. And they just miss out, and they go backwards a little bit, which is and again I could understand Jack's thinking as much as he's a Villa boy, absolutely through and through, as Vernon just said there. However, things change very quickly. The picture changes very quickly in football. You can be on the verge of greatness and success, and all of a sudden, a player or two leaves, something happens, and the wheels start to come off. And Jack, you can't. Sometimes you can't walk away from opportunities like this one that maybe is presenting itself right now.
Yeah, it's Drive on talkSPORT.